Hey guys, welcome back to Burnout's Hot Rod Shop. So this is kind of the new format, the Fix It Up Friday with the small tool haul. We did this one last week or 2 weeks ago, just depends on when I get this out. And I like the way it went, so we're gonna try it a few times and see how we like it. This is from today. I actually just got home. Today is March 15th, 2026. And I just got back from the Circle Drive-In Flea Market in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And it was the grand opening weekend. It's a seasonal flea market. It's the first of the seasonal flea markets up here in Northeast PA. And it's open. So it's like, we've had the year-round ones and they have an ebb and flow to them. But the first seasonal open today. So kind of like the kickoff of flea market season. And I want to show you guys real quick what I got. And then we'll take one of these pieces and we'll fix it up for Friday. All right? Okay guys, so I put this wrinkly mat out because the table itself is dirty. I was sorting a whole bunch of the undesirable Asia market stuff that I have. I'm gonna put them in, I actually have everything sorted and in 5 toolboxes. And I'm just gonna throw them on Marketplace and see if we can sell them for, $50 a piece or whatever that is. And it'll give people SAE metric sockets and wrenches, a handful of extra sockets, some screwdrivers, some pliers, that kind of stuff. Kind of a nice little starter kit and a decent little metal toolbox to have it all in. So, having said that, let's go ahead and we'll do this in the order, I think, that I picked everything. Not 100% guaranteeing, but that's what I'm thinking about. So, first when I walked in, I saw these pliers sitting on a pegboard. And these are Diamond Duluth. And they're a nice little set of pliers. Function great, a little bit of rust, but those will come apart. Those will clean up real nice. So I got that. And then they also had this Mac Tools pocket knife. So I asked the lady how much for them, and she said $1 for the pair. So I paid 50 cents a piece for those. I thought that was a really good bargain. I said, sure, I'll do that. Next, I walked past a booth. A guy bought a few things from last year. And he saw me turn to look at this Williams. This is a 3/4, and it is the, was it H51? Yeah, H51 Williams. It is, someone put their owner's mark or a company mark, my guess is. It says plot, P-L-O-T, and then dot, and then MWR dot, so I'm not sure what that's for. And then they welded P&T into the handle. It's actually fairly smooth. It's not big gaudy weld. They did a good job with it. It's got, I think, the original green. If I remember right, this generation, it was a green background. The switch is fully intact, but it doesn't like to turn. It's real sticky. It turns, but it's not real happy about it. But you can feel the gear moves a little bit. That anvil gear moves. And this moves, but it's gummed up. So I think that this will just need a good cleaning. Initially, the guy's like $50, and I said, no, I don't think so. So what do you think about 20? He said, man, I can't do 20. He said, how about 30? I picked it up and I looked at it, and that's when I saw that none of this worked. I said, 25, because I'm gonna have to mess with this. He's like, you'll have that thing fixed up in like a day. I said, yeah, but I've got to do it. So he took 25. This one will probably become its own Fix It Up Friday where we just jump 100% into it. But I think this one's going to be a fun one. We'll get it apart, we'll get it all lubed up, and see if we can make it work. So I bought that from him. Let's see, then I moved along and trying to think of which one was next. Oh, this one. This is a table that's there all the time. The guy just has bins and bins of stuff, and they all say 2 for $1. So I picked up, actually in this order, this is a double box. What do we have? 9/16 and 1/2 inch Industro. You guys know me. If it's an Industro, I'll pick it up. And I kind of set that one aside and said I need to find another item. And then I found this one and said, absolutely, because I've never seen one of these. So this one, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it says Mac Sabina. So it's Mac Tools. But the handle is plastic, but it's made to look like they're wood handles. So I've seen the more modern plastic ones that look like a Stanley to me. And then, of course, the wood handle stuff, but I've never seen the plastic that looks like a wood handle. And it's in really good shape. So I got those two for $1. And then I kept looking, and I saw this 3/4 Wizard. Again, Wizard's an Industro company. You know me, I pick up Industro. And it's in really nice shape. And I like these ones with the little, I don't know, quotation mark, or not quotation marks, parentheses on the sides, I guess. A little bit of surface rust, like it has been in water recently. So that'll clean up pretty easy, I think. And then next is this one, and it is crusty enough I can't tell a maker's mark on it. But it has this circle right here, and it says Guaranteed USA. So I'm not sure who used that. When I get it cleaned up, I'll probably find an actual maker's mark someplace. But they're really nice slip joint pliers, and I think they're the largest slip joint pliers I have. So those two were $1. So that was $2 right there. And I continued around the flea market. Oh, then I stopped at this guy and started digging through, and he had super wrenches in his one bin. So I got an 11/16. And then I got two of these 7/8. And two of these 13/16. And I didn't realize at first that they were a size difference and stamping marking difference. So we have O's and B's. An O on this one, O on this one, a B on this one, and a B on this one. So I took those up, was holding them in my hand, and I kept looking around. And he wanted to show me this. He saw that I picked up the Williams. This is a Mac VR15 ratchet. It's a 1/2-inch drive, the longer reach, and it does turn, but the switch is broken off. And I saw that at least at one point, the rebuild kit is available on Amazon, but it says out of stock. So I'll have to see if I can get one or get a switch for this. But the fact that it turns, I'm happy with. And so I put that in the pile. And I saw this in his wrenches, and I like these. I know I've read it all over the place that there is no relationship between the Thorson and the Snap-on, but man, this looks like one of the V-Groove Snap-ons. And I just like the way they look when they're all clean. So I put that in. And then he also had this on the table. And this is a Crescent Tool Company. And it is a Jamestown, New York. And it's a 4-inch. Nice little 4-inch adjustable. And it turns. It's a little sticky, but it turns. So I set that aside and I said, okay, what do you want for all this? And he looked and he says, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He goes, those are $3 a piece, so that's 15. And then he looked at these and he goes, man, that Mac's broke. He goes, $5 for all this. He goes, so $20 for everything here. So I paid him $20 for all this. I thought that was really good. These Macs, whenever they're repaired, are selling between $60 and $90 on eBay, but it will actually go in my Snap-on box. So far, I've got Williams and a couple Snap-on, of course. Williams, a Mac, and then some Icon stuff in there. So I have another Mac. And the one I've got, I think, is a flex head, longer reach, 3/8. So it'd be nice to have the longer reach half to go with it. Continued around the flea market a little bit more. Walked over to another guy that I always end up buying stuff from because he just has a bunch of junk on the table and gives you a good price. And I plucked out 5 wrenches. Got a Mac 11/32. Got a Mac 1/2 inch 9/16 double open. Grabbed a, what size is this one? 1/2 inch. The older style super wrench. Grabbed a, I guess I'll put this one since it's a Williams. This one is a check nut wrench. So if you look in that opening, it has a little bit different shape to it. So you got these steps here. That's for a check nut. And it is, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it does have the diamond W there above my finger. So that's a Williams. And then this double box Sparkle Buffalo. I took these up. I said, I got 5 wrenches. He said, how $3, son? So I gave him $3 for those 5 wrenches. Oh, one thing I missed in the earlier one with the other super wrenches. Actually, no, we'll get to that one in a minute. We'll do it in the order I did it. Then I went by another guy that I bought some stuff from last year. He always has interesting things on his table. And today he had these that interested me. So this is an 8-inch adjustable. It turns pretty freely. Jaw's a little loose on it. But it's a brand I don't have. I'm going to have to clean it up some more. It looks like it might have some more marking in there under the rust. But it does say that it's a Bulldog. So I'm not exactly sure what a Bulldog is. I know Williams had the Bulldog alligator type wrench. But I'm not sure what a Bulldog adjustable is. So he had that. And then he had this. This is a hex driver. It's an aluminum body, I think. It could be a steel body, stainless steel body or something. Feels heavier than aluminum. But it actually has at least 4 of the nut bits in it. So it's an old nut driver, essentially. And I thought that was just really cool. I love these. Anytime I see the hex sockets, I pick them up. So then to see this guy with the hex sockets and being a driver for it and still having them inside, I had to grab it. So I picked it up. Asked him what he wanted. He said, 10. He said, how's 10? I said, too much. And we went back and forth a little bit, and we sold it on 5. Honestly, I think this is worth 5. It is to me. This is worth $1. So I'd have paid 6, probably. But I got it for $5. After that, I was headed out looking for the wife. And I walked back past the guy with the super wrenches and the Mac ratchet. And he had pulled this engraver out and had it on his table. And it is the Crown logo, still in the pouch. I grab one of my cleaning brushes. Still actually has, if I can get them out of there, the paper instructions with someone engraving their initials on a Flying V wrench. That's cool. And it says it's an electric engraver with replaceable tip. But this tip is nice and sharp. Again, Crown logo. I have not plugged it in. I will give it a try here in a few minutes when I'm done filming. But I asked him how much. He said 5. I said, what about 2? He said 3. So I gave him $3 for it. It's something I've never actually seen for sale. What is this? Huh. Someone got this as a Christmas gift. Someone named Alfred. And it says it's from Mom and Dad Stanton. That's cool. I did not see that. I didn't pull the instructions out. I just saw that they were in there earlier. The model number on this is it's the small 9 and then the 4297. So definitely a cool find. And for a couple dollars, well worth it. So that's what we picked up at the Circle Flea Market this week. Next, we'll pick something out and fix it up for our Fix It Up Friday. So a couple things, guys. I think I figured out what it is we're going to do. It'll be these two. We'll get those real quick here in a second. But I also wanted to show you that I did get this thing turning. Little 3-in-1 oil all over it, and then got on it, started rocking it back and forth. Got it down inside. And I've got this 1 1/4 Williams socket. So what better to pop on here and show you guys that this is now turning. Won't push it all the way on. Well, why not? The detemp balls were stiff yesterday. There. But I did oil them as well. So now, put this on. You can see, turns nice and smooth. Still needs to be taken apart, still needs to be gone through. But all the teeth seem to work good. The switch flips nice and easy. And it turns back the other way without a problem too. It feels a little gummy inside, which is to be expected. So we will do an episode where we take this thing completely apart, see if we can get the outside looking better than new. Not sure about this P&T or PLT or whatever it says right here. I bet it's PLOT. It says, because it says plot.mwr. It's a PL, really small O and a T. So yeah, that's plot, whatever that was. So we'll do that on a separate episode, all by itself. But what we are going to do is this 8-inch, the real wobbly jaw. We'll get it cleaned up, see if we can figure out what it is. It says Bulldog on it. So I want to see if there's any other markings once we get it clean. And then the same with these pliers. They've got this circle logo that says USA Guaranteed. But that's all I can see on it currently. So we will get these two into the DOC, let them sit overnight, and then we'll come back and start wire wheeling them and using the finish wheel and stuff on them. See if we can make them look pretty. So off to the DOC. Okay, so I just pulled these out of the DOC, swiped them down. This time I put them in a hole, and I'll take them apart, and then we'll take them to the wire wheel. So first thing we'll take apart will be the pliers. This has a big nut on the back. Actually, what I'm going to do, I started doing this with pliers. I like the way it works better. I'm going to take the wire wheel to this before I take it apart real quick. I just like to get a little bit of a clean on it first, so that when I put it back together, it's shiny, just like the rest of it. I use my Diamond Utica adjustable wrench that still needs to be cleaned. It's over in my pile. That came off real easy. And that guy's out. And we'll take that to the wire wheel as well. once we got it out of there. So that would be the pliers. And then this adjustable wrench. We'll get in here with a pick. Close this guy up. This is a sloppy one. I don't know if this is ever going to show any type of branding on it. Like I said, it's stamped Bulldog and says something underneath it. But once we get it cleaned up, hopefully we'll be able to see something underneath that. I'm not sure what a Bulldog adjustable wrench is. There, we get all the nasties out of this slot before we take and try to put a screwdriver in it. It does not have any detents in it, or no swedges in it, sorry. Again, I like to use this little Stanley ratcheting screwdriver for most of my 4 to about 10 inch. I've had a few 12 inches that it works pretty good with. Adjustables. The nice part about it doesn't let you over torque. So if it gets a little bit tight, it'll actually click the ratcheting mechanism. And you just back it the other way and go again. And this one seems to be moving fairly freely. If it's actually coming out, I think it is. It's a lot of turns for the fact that it's not showing proud of the surface yet. It's turning. Could this be stripped? Absolutely. It looks like it's getting closer to the surface. Maybe. It's closer than it started. Let's go the other way. Let's tighten it back up. And it acts like it's not moving, guys. So this one, since it works, I think it's just going to have to get cleaned up in its assembled state. So I will spin this open. It's just so sloppy. Wonder if we put that little bit of tension on it, if that will help. Yeah, you can look, it's like barely hitting the knurl. But we'll give it a clean. We'll see how it comes out. I'll go over to the wire wheel and the disc, and I'll put you guys on hyperspeed. You can see it quickly. All right, so we got them cleaned up. I did take a couple pictures of these images because they're hard to see. This one says Bulldog, West Germany. So that's a German adjustable wrench. And then this one is really hard to read. It says USA guaranteed, but it's like there's a W at the end of the USA, so I'm not really sure. But I will give you guys a couple of screenshots of what I was able to see right here. So, draw your conclusions on what you think they are. The one I think is Bulldog, West Germany. That one looked fairly easy to read. The pliers, I'm not sure. Just needed to be tapped in a little bit, that's all. So these, I think, are generic. They don't warrant much more work. Unless someone knows something about them, I don't. They're cleaned up. The wife and I are looking at different flea markets in the area. Maybe we will set up a booth at some point. And these would be in a $2 bin, just because they've been cleaned up. If they're dirty and crusty, they'd be in a $1 bin. Let's get a little oil on this. Actually, before we oil, let's actually I got in there really well. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just oil them up. Because this one's going to be just a display piece. It's not, with as loose as that jaw is, and the fact I can't get the screw out of it without really fighting it, I don't see a lot of point in getting too detailed. So, you know, this kind of shows us sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. Today was a couple, I wouldn't say losses, but not any great wins, for sure. But it's the fun of the flea market, right? We get these things for under $1 each or whatever. Use the handy dandy 3-in-1 oil. Get these things cheap, we bring them home, we play with them. And we have the fun of exploring. Speaking of the fun of exploring, I think I'm going to start up a new feature. I don't know if I want to call it a feature, but you know, I'm thinking on the lines of like a mystery box Monday type of thing. It won't be on every Monday. It may not be on Mondays at all, just a mystery box day. Mystery box, whenever I get one. But I think last week, one of the videos you guys saw, talked about how I just love going through the random, you know, buying a random toolbox at an auction or at a flea market or whatever, and bringing it home and going through it. So I'd like to kind of make that a focal point. I enjoy it. And as long as I don't pay too much money for them, it's fun. I do have one coming up in an auction that I won last night. And so I'll be picking it up Saturday, tomorrow, when you guys see this. This is all in the same week. As we're trying to burn through the things I had canned, I am trying to do some of the current stuff as well. So that's, you know, this haul that you just saw was picked up this past Sunday. This, I'm doing this, it is physically Tuesday night, and you'll see it on Friday. And like I said, I picked this up on Sunday. There's actually another surprise on Sunday. I got something else. Yeah, so if you saw that picture I flashed up there real quick, that's gonna be a video that comes out this coming Monday. I've actually already finished the video going through everything and uploaded it onto YouTube with the scheduled time of 7 a.m. Monday. So if you guys want to see what all is in there and what that thing is all about, the fact that it had to be on a tow truck, tune in Monday, 7 a.m. or later. I don't do the premiere thing, but tune in Monday for that, and you can see that one. It's a lot of fun. I was actually messing with it a little bit today, so we'll just leave it at that. So here we are. We got these two done. Just cleaned up a little bit. This one I'll keep because it's West Germany, and it's Bulldog, a company I don't have. This one will go in a box I have sitting right over there, which is stuff to throw into an auction or something. It's a nice big set of USA guaranteed, don't know who's backing the guarantee, pliers. And it does have the, I don't know if I showed you guys this whenever I picked it or not, it does have the screwdriver blade end, which is handy, and a pair of slip joint pliers. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I did. You know, a little disappointing that this guy wouldn't come apart and this guy wasn't branded at all. But it is what it is. Like I say, you win some, you lose some. And I think Sunday afternoon I definitely won. So you have to tune in Monday to see that one. Until then, I'm Burnout. I love you. And there ain't nothing you can do about it.